This video is only one part of an in-depth review, so check out the rest at thegoodride.com. Thanks for watching.
Welcome to The Good Ride. I'm James Beastie, and this is the Jones Meteorite, and it's a low-cost alternative to the Mercury and the Drive. I rode this primarily with my Jones Mountain Twin and my Burton Kendos, and started out with my Union Atlas just to get my baseline going to see how they compare, because that's what I ride every day. Then rode these and compared them to the Now Drive and the Jones Mercury just to get a feel of how they sit in the Jones and Now spectrum. I rode these in firm and unfair conditions, firm but fair, really good groomers, messy, bumpy, into the day, uneven snow as well. Didn't get them in powder, but I've ridden other Jones and Now bindings in powder and they do a great job. To give you a short summary, this binding does have some shortcomings in my opinion. One, this sway bar under here can cause pressure points with a softer boot sole. It needs a harder boot sole for this to work properly. It has no adjustability, but it has a very smooth, very supportive, damp, super shock absorbent ride that a lot of people might appreciate, especially if you're looking for a binding to pair up with an all-day resort rider. This just kills it in uneven snow, and it's a very simple plug-and-play binding with some cool tech, this skate tech underneath from Now. So let's get into weight. This is 2 pounds, not too heavy, not too light, just right. In comparison to the Now Drive, it's 1.8 pounds, and this is 2 pounds, the Mercury as well. It's kind of at a good weight, especially for this price point. Now let's talk Highback Flex. There's a decent twist here, and just a touch of give, but not much. If you compare that to the Now Drive, a little more twist, and just a touch more give, but still not a lot of give going back. Compare this to the Mercury, a little less twist, but there's still some good twist here, and almost no give going back. You can see also the Highback is a little less wide and a little more form-fitting. It's kind of more like the Now Drive, but still has maybe a touch more surface area on the top there. And I found that this didn't really bite into my calf too much, and this was okay. It wasn't great, but it was livable. Now when it comes to flex underfoot and buttering, it's got a really unique thing going for it underfoot here. You have a disc that mounts to this kingpin, and let me pop this up to kind of show you. It moves a little bit each way, and it creates a really smooth feel when you combine it with these stoppers. I pretty much always go with the stiff stoppers, but you can get softer stoppers that allow a little more butterability and a little more twist with the board. These 4 stoppers are the primary point of contact along with the disc, and having them on each side like this really stiffens up the board underfoot, makes it feel more damp. It doesn't feel like it deadens it, it just feels more stiff. And I like that feel. It's not really a buttery binding. It was doable though, but just not amazing. Now when it comes to turn initiation and response, these were definitely a step down from the Mercury. The Mercury just really had good response this year. Kind of like medium fast, and it was really impressive response. Definitely a step up over the Now Drive. These felt more in line with the Now Drive and maybe the Pilot. They have good, smooth, mid-level response, but they powered the Jones Mountain Twin okay. I really liked the Mercury with the Jones Mountain Twin. I thought that was a perfect pairing, and I thought that was great response-wise. These made the Mountain Twin a little slower, but it was still doable. Now when it comes to shock absorption and dampness, this is just like the best in the industry. These 4 rubber stoppers, whether they're the soft or the stiff ones, really just dampen chatter coming up from the board. Then you have this just nice soft EVA footbed throughout that makes it even smoother and damper at slow speeds and at high speed. The stoppers work at high speed, and the soft EVA foam works at slow speed, so it's just kind of like the pinnacle of shock absorption. There is one issue though, and see this sway bar here under the gas pedal? That does not have any protection. Almost every other binding that uses soft EVA foam like this puts in a plastic protector in the middle here that goes over that sway bar and kind of runs a little bit into the footbed here, and that keeps everything kind of even. What this does is it causes a pressure point right here where your foot kind of ends and your toes begin. It lifts that up a little bit if you have a softer sole. I have a medium sole, and I could feel it a little bit with my Burton Kendos and Burton Ions. It wasn't as bad as it was with my Adidas Tactical ADVs that had a very soft sole. But if you have a stiffer sole with a lot of rubber, you probably won't feel this at all. But if you have a medium to soft sole, you might feel it like we did, and it caused some cramping. It caused some undue pressure points in the arch of my foot, and it fatigued me really fast. And I'd love to see them add that plastic thing in there. From what I even heard, it's cheaper in production to do that, so that would be really cool. Now, when it comes to support, you know, all Jones bindings and Now bindings do a really good job at locking in the boot. I love these new toe straps. These ankle straps are good, but wow, man. These Jones Mercury ankle straps are the shit. They just really can form around the boot. They felt really supportive. They felt like they added response. Where these were good, they're kind of in line with the Now ankle straps. They just didn't have the support and just the love around my ankle that these did from the Mercury. But still, very supportive. The ratchets are really smooth. I had no issues with them, and you can crank them down really hard, so no problem there. Now, when it comes to adjustability, there really is none. You just have toolless adjustability for the ankle strap and the toe strap. You have forward lean on your high back, but you can't rotate your high back. You can't adjust this binding to fit your boot size. Luckily for me, I'm a size 9, and I think this is kind of like an 8 to 10 size medium. So I was kind of right in the middle, and they fit really well. They fit centered in the binding. There isn't much stance width adjustability either if you consider your boot. You can only move it a little bit each way. What this is best at is putting it toe to heel and sliding it back and forth. If you're, let's say, a size 10 boot, that'll help you center your boot on the board a little bit better, but you won't have any stance width adjustability. So adjustability is just really not there. And overall, I think this is a good damp binding. I don't like the fact that I get pressure points on the gas pedal right here with the sway bar, and I don't like that I can't adjust this binding, and it has limited stance width adjustability as well. If you can get past the two issues I mentioned, you could get a very damp, very smooth turning, good binding at a reasonable price.
All our reviews are a best effort, objective opinion from an average rider's perspective. There's no brand oversight, and we're free to say whatever we want. We send back everything unless it's a favorite, then we ask to keep those or straight up buy them. Now, if you need advice, fill out the eHarmony profile in the Contact Us section of the site. It's the only way I can help you properly. If you want to support us, and if what we reviewed appeals to you, it helps if you buy through our links. So, thanks for watching.